It's very disappointing. Obviously, with our result, our players had a week this week where they answered the bell in every way. We could have asked them to answer the bell from the standpoint of their work ethic, their commitment. It's at the end of the day, we have to win football games, and no matter who's coaching at Texas Tech, and no matter who you're playing, the goal is to win a football game, and putting our guys in the best positions to do that. And that's the challenge that we'll have these next 3 weeks after the bye week. But it's a challenge that we're looking forward to. And this group of players and this group of coaches is going to continue to fight, scratch and claw. I told them, it's the same thing, the same mindset in West Texas. What happens when things go poorly in the oil business? What happens when things go poorly in the cotton industry? What you do is you dig your heels in and you fight. And you dig your heels in and you fight and you keep showing up every single day. And so that's what we're going to do. Just got to coach smarter at the end of the first half. Got to make sure everybody's on the same page and hears what's going on and what we're planning to do in timeouts. And that starts with me. I think that our players have had a long week. It's probably a good time for them to have a bye week and let them catch their breath a little bit. But at the end of the day, we are not going to make excuses and we're not going to feel sorry for ourselves because we want to win football games.
Sonny, since you touched on it, what happened with the sequence there at the end of the first half?
I think at the end of the first half that just the communication of the bazooka field goal didn't do a good enough job echoing, I guess, and letting Garibay know that that's what we were about to do. And that starts with me on third down with our timeout as far as communicating. With 15 seconds left, you have a chance to run 2 plays in 15 seconds. We practice the bazooka a lot. That's one of the things that Coach Wells puts us in those situations situationally to do. And just, somehow he was the only one that didn't hear it.
I believe before on the play before the pass there, you're already in position for, I think it was a 37-yard field goal.
Yeah.
Did you think about just going ahead and kicking it there?
I think that was a field goal game for us, against this type of opponent. It probably would have given you a little bit of momentum, but I think you got to score touchdowns against the type of team you're playing against.
Coach, what made Donovan the best option to start?
I think that Donovan has the ability to extend plays. He has made some really good progressions for a young guy on 4th and 2. The progression on the crossing route there's a comma. He's practiced really well over these last 4 or 5 weeks, and the plays that he's gone in on the game, and he's done a nice job. And for whatever reason, it just didn't feel like we had a lot of life offensively, and I think he was a spark that kind of got us going. And he did a nice job as far as handling a lot of the things they were doing in the zone read game, and then being able to quick game wise, getting the ball out and being really accurate. And he made some really good progressions. And obviously there's a few things that you'd like to have done better.
Is he someone that you can see going down the road staying in that position, maybe possibly starting?
We just have to assess it after the next week, and see where Tyler's at, see where Henry's at, and Barron and those guys. But Donovan, he made a strong case of how he competed and how he played today.
Sparkman had probably the most receptions he's had this entire year so far. What was working for him today?
JJ's a big physical kid that's been banged up a little bit, and I think he's finally gotten healthy. And he's obviously a matchup problem because he can elevate. He's got really good ball skills, and it was great to see the production that he had today. And the more that he gets healthy and the more reps that he gets, I think the more he'll continue to grow.
Also, another good day for Easy. First time he's had 100 yards since the Stephen F. Austin game. What was working for him?
Eric's good matchup we had this week versus their corners, and Donovan did a nice job of finding him and just going through his progressions. And you have a lot of great individual efforts. A couple of them that at the end of the day, those guys, they'd trade 100 yards for a victory any day. And but it was encouraging to see how Donovan and Henry were able to find Eric, and how Sparkman played on the outside.
One more thing about Donovan, he's thrown the ball obviously more than he's kind of thrown his entire year so far. Do you think going down the road again too, that's something you're going to work in, maybe instead of just doing mostly the option plays with him?
Yeah, I think the thing that you saw today, you saw at the end of the Kansas game, is Donovan's a quarterback. I mean, he's not a one-trick pony where he can just go in there and run the ball. He can throw the football. He hasn't had as much experience in the games as Henry, as Tyler, but he went out there and did a nice job today.
Coach, sorry, a couple more about Donovan. I know, first of all, with Tyler potentially being able to come back in a couple of weeks from what was said originally, how much thought was it to this could be a chance that if Tyler does come back, this can be a really good opportunity to get Donovan a shot before Tyler does come back.
Yeah, I just coming into the game, I wanted to see Henry bounce back and see him play, and then he got dinged a little on that hit on our sideline, and so Donovan went in, and I just thought to let him finish the drive, and then as we moved into the half and had that drive right before half, moved us down the field, and just to see what he could do, and to see how he could play, and definitely gives us options at that position, moving forward as Tyler comes back, and then hopefully Tyler comes back, and then obviously with Barron, his development. So.
So to clarify there, Henry was shaking up a little bit, but he could have returned if he had wanted to.
Correct. Yeah. Yep.
What did he do?
Yeah, I think it was on the late hit on the sideline. I didn't see it. I was down far enough on the front sidelines, but I think he got knocked into the bench, and to me, he looked a little dazed, and so I thought putting Donovan in there and just letting him finish out the game.
Did you like the rhythm you saw from Donovan for the most part? Now you were talking about like a lot of those quick slants and whatnot, but did you like the rhythm that he saw throughout the second half that he was really playing with?
I did, yeah, I really did. I liked how he caught the ball, got out of his hand, and processed our progressions and quick game and drop back. Did a really nice job there at the end, the last drive, driving the ball over the middle of the field. Talented kid.
Mason kind of touched on it there. Did you see the growth you wanted to see? I know you guys see him in practice and everything, but to see him in a game where he really is throwing more than he has obviously a lot throughout this year, did you see the growth you wanted to see from him?
Yeah, it's good to see get live game reps and to see how he executes, because he's been doing that in practice, and so at the end of the day, you like to score more points and play better than what you did on offense.
I know you mentioned kind of the energy dissipating there, but what did you see in the fourth quarter as far as the fight from your team, both sides? But you saw you were firing up the team. I know going there in the fourth quarter, was the goal there to get that energy up and just finish strong? What was the goal there?
Yeah, the goal is to finish strong and to have our guys that continue to fight. And in certain situations, that's all you can do. I mean, our guys have answered the bell this year. They answered the bell in the fourth quarter, and that's the challenge for us. These next 4 games, and the challenge for us in this bye week is inspiring and motivating our players and pouring into them and wanting them to finish this game. And you have football is if you think about how many days our players work out of the course of the year, it's probably right around 320 days a year they work, and you have 12 games. And so why would you not want to play hard for 12 games? Why would you not want to finish games hard for 12 games? Because they put so much into it, and they sacrifice so much time, away from family, and then doing what they do. Why would they not want to try to get the most out of them? And so you just try to squeeze every ounce of your juice and energy into them, and try to have them with that same mindset.
How much is that the fight whenever energy might dissipate? Is that whenever, do you see that just as throughout a game? Is it more on the opponent whenever they're scoring a bunch of times? Does it go away, or what do you think that is where the energy isn't at that level?
Well, I think that teams have to play really complementary football, offense and defense and special teams. And when we've done that this year, it hasn't been near enough, obviously, but we've been really good. When we play offense, defense, and special teams together, we feed off one another, and the results usually end up in our favor. And so that's what I just want to keep talking to our players about is you can't keep your eyes on the scoreboard when you're not in, and you just have to focus on your assignment. And then when we turn it over on offense, it puts our defense in a bind, and they have to answer the bell. When they force a turnover, we need to capitalize on it. And then in the special teams, being able to protect the football and get ourselves in the return game, I think we all feed off one another. And so the energy and the emotion of football will carry you. You got to have the execution, that goes along with it.
Go ahead, Don.
Sonny, you spent obviously the last several years being the guy in charge of the offense and focusing on the offense. And you've been asked to think ahead and be responsible for the whole team in real time,
Mhm.
thinking about all the decisions that you have to make. How would you describe how that went, how that felt?
I enjoyed it. I thought that there are a lot of things that move pretty fast. And like you said, offensively, you're usually involved in a lot of the game management situations from the standpoint of end of half. I knew when we had the ball and we had the drive there, I most definitely wanted to end the ball in the half with the football, and to try to get points. And talking with Coach Tomerdahl and Coach Patterson about just different situations. You know, those things do move fast, but you know, it's something that I think that I enjoyed it. You know, and you know, really the offensive staff did a tremendous job this week in terms of coming to the bat of, you know, where, hey, I've got responsibilities to the defense, I've got responsibilities to the special teams and you know, academics and recruiting, and they stepped up and really helped and did a nice job there.
Did you, in the last 24, 48 hours, did you have any text or communication from Matt?
I have, yeah, absolutely. Actually, this morning I did. Last night, talked to him earlier this week on the phone, and then he texted me this morning. So I haven't checked my phone since, but maybe check me and text me some advice, you know. But I did, yeah. I communicated with him this morning, and very encouraging, and so appreciative of that.
Going back to J.J. Sparber for a moment, I never asked Matt, what was he dealing with this last
You know, it was just more of, you know, just kind of his shoulder, and trying to get back healthy with that.
Before the game, obviously the storyline going into it, you and Lincoln, both from West Texas, both guys who walked on at Texas Tech. Is there anything that you guys talked about before the game? I guess, you know, how you guys ended up getting here.
You know, it was just friendly talk, conversation, you know, reflecting back on 2009, just kind of how that all transpired. But at the end of the day, both of us wanted to win. We were glad to see each other, and they're very supportive of each other, you know, except for 3 hours on a Saturday whenever we're going against each other.